Hi Yousaf, how are you?
Good morning, Danny. Doing well. How are you doing?
Great. Okay. So everyone, welcome to our international prop chat. And this is very special because today is our 30th episode. Okay. It's been 30 weeks that, all our viewers support us, and also a lot of our guests actually spend their precious time to join our program. Okay. So today we will talk about Canada's migration and also real estate investment. Okay, for those who just joined us and you see me for the first time, my name is Danny. I'm from the IQI International Sales. And our guest today is someone very special and also someone that I actually learned a lot from him as well. Okay, so please welcome our IQI Canada's director, Mr. Yousaf. Okay.
Thank you very much, Danny.
Yeah. So before we begin, Yusuf, maybe you can actually brief us about your background.
Sure. You did an amazing introduction for me, but I'll still say a little bit about myself. So I'm the director and the broker record with IQI Global Real Estate, and I'm also the country head for Jawai IQI. Been in real estate for last 10 years. Been in Canada for last 15 years. And one thing I can tell you is that after being here in Canada, it is one of the most livable and the safest countries to live is Canada.
Yes. Okay. For our viewers, Yusuf always convinced me to go to Canada, and live there and work there alongside with him. It's an amazing country.
Very soon, we will get you here.
Okay. I think other bosses they are listening and watching with us right now. Yeah. So Yusuf, why people migrate to Canada?
Very
Like,
good question. So, it's a great question. What I'm going to do is that I'm just going to share my screen. I've got a few
okay.
slides here, and based on the slides, I just want to discuss a few things as well. If you allow me to just share my
Mhm.
screen. Can you see my
Yeah.
screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can see the slides.
Okay, so to your first question, as you can see with my PPT, the world map and showing Canada there on that, so which is saying that the quality of life, which is being ranked, the Canada is ranked as a number two in terms of the citizenship, and in terms of the entrepreneurship, it's number six. So one of the reasons why people move to Canada is because it's economically stable.
Mhm.
It's a good job market, very safe environment, and obviously it's a very safe environment to raise your kids as well. Politically stable, 100% politically stable, family friendly. Again, great place for to raise your kids. A very well developed public education system. As you know, Danny, a lot of people send their kids here for the higher education,
Yes.
and one of the top universities here. The public health system, it's amazing. I mean, your all your medical, including the medicine up to the age of 21, is all
Mhm.
free. Any type of major surgery, anything you're going along on that, that is absolutely free. So one of the best public health systems, which is here in Canada. So that's the reason, Canada is considered to be very safe and a good place to live.
I think like for the past 20, 30 years, a lot of people they would choose Toronto and Vancouver. Is that right? As a migration point. I think lately for the past 5 years, a lot of new places they started to bloom, isn't it?
That's right, because there has always been a big influx of population in the Ontario and the British Columbia, which boils down to Toronto and Vancouver. But recently, as you said, in the last 4 or 5 years, there have been a lot of provincial nominee programs which has come in. And
Mhm.
along with these PNP programs, we have seen that the immigration has been to other provinces as well. Again, for example, in Quebec, Winnipeg, Alberta, Calgary. I mean,
Yeah.
these are the places where a lot of people started moving as well.
Yeah, I believe. for the past 5 years, Calgary is like one of the top three places for a lot of migrations. And also, I think they have universities that accept a lot of Chinese and also Southeast Asian students as well, right? In
Yes, there
Calgary.
is a lot of students which are coming into all these cities. And going forward, I'll also share some data with you on kind of number of students which have come in since 2019. So again, Canada remains a
Mhm.
very big educational hub for the international students, especially from the, as you said, from the Hong Kong, China, and the Asian region, where students come in. And again, there are advantages of being here because once you complete your education, you get about 3 years of work permit. With after that work permit, you
Oh,
apply for an immigration and stuff like that. So those things are there as well, right?
yeah.
So those things makes a big difference. Apart from, yes, the level of education is there as well, right? That's the most important thing. And then the added advantages of being here in Canada.
Yeah, because 3 years work permit is quite a very reasonable choice compared to, some of the countries, they might just give you 6 months to secure a job or else you have to go home.
And apart from that, there's also other very much qualified programs as well, especially if somebody has done their master's.
Hmm.
There is self programs where they can, after doing certain number of hours, they can apply for their PR card. And as you said, the 3 years is really a good span of time
Yes.
for these students and for the people to settle in. And
Mhm.
once they get settled in and they got their job, it's much more easier path for them to apply for their permanent resident card as well, which is a PR card.
Ah, all right. Okay, let's give us as an example, okay? Let's say Danny, okay, let's say me. I would like to work there, okay? What do I need to prepare for? And is there any requirement where I want to live and stay there, or perhaps to be a PR?
Sure. So just to give you a little bit information about some recent announcement which has been done by the immigration levels,
Mhm.
which came into in October. They announced that the Canada's immigration levels of program from 2021 to 23, they are planning to bring in 1.2 million immigrants, and the target is to bring about 401,000 immigrants in 2021, 411,000 in 2022, and 421,000 in 2023. So we'll be expecting approximately around 1.2 million of Canadian immigrants for the immigrants coming to Canada on that. Now, to answer your question, when you said, like, what are the various
Options.
options of somebody to come in to Canada? Number one is the express entry, and after that, I'll go a little bit, very slightly, I'll touch some details about what are the criteria for that. Study permits, as I said, a
Mhm.
lot of students come here, they do their studies, and after that, they get their study permits, and that's in the way of doing in Canadian immigration option. The third one is a business entrepreneur model, which is a federal and provincial entrepreneurs programs for individuals with a minimum net worth of 600K and a minimum investment of 200K. It varies and changes from time to time, but then these are the general guidelines what we are talking about here on that.
I see.
Again, now to see what you said, what we're talking about in terms of the skilled worker. So there is a provincial or nominee programs where
Okay.
provinces in Canada can nominate you through the immigration. There is skills trade, education, and work experience as well. So the minimum criteria, uh, eligibility, you could say that at least a bachelor's degree, which is equivalent to Canadian equivalent. I scores of
Yes.
score of, it says 6, but it's actually gone up a little bit. 2 years of work experience, and if your age is below 35 years on that. It
Uh,
also requires some proof of funds. If you are, depending on how many people are coming in, for example, if it's a principal, one applicant, all you have to do is you have to show that you have enough funds when you're applying in your bank account. For example, principal applicant, approximately 12,700, a spouse of about 16,000, and an applicant plus spouse plus child equal to about 19,390 Canadian
mhm.
dollars on that. Government fees varies. I mean, from 1,040, it goes all the way on that.
Do they have like a different type of fees occur in different regions?
These are government fees. This is
Okay.
not the consultation charges or the consultants that would charge you. This is
Mm-hmm.
a very minimum basic fees, and these are government fees, so they don't change according to that. This is what you would pay in terms of the government charges.
All right. I think the requirement for express entry, for example, is much more suitable for certain professions, right? Such as engineers, or do they have any like a list of skilled workers that, right now Canada, we need this group of people, so they will get a higher
So,
points.
so this is based on the CRS, which is a point system, and every time every month there's a draw on the CRS system on that.
Mhm.
So the way it works is that again the requirements, as I said, it's mostly they're looking for age is below 35 years of age, and if you have the education and you qualify under that category of
Mhm.
federal or the skilled worker trade, you can apply on that.
Okay, that's very clear. Okay. For those who just joined us, thank you so much for watching. Okay. We do our international property chat every Friday, 9:30 p.m. Okay. So feel free to join us for next week as well. And of course, Yousaf, from your experience, is the retention of students, after graduate students very high in Canada?
There is a lot of retention. That's a very good thing. You said that a majority of the students, at least they exercise their 3 years.
Yep.
And after 3 years, I have known personally a few of my very own clients and some of the family members as well. They prefer to stay back and
Yeah,
do
I'm
their
pretty sure.
permanent residency, on
Yes.
that, and get their permanent residency going on as well. So they do stay back on that.
Yeah. And as for the business, I think it's mostly for established businessmen.
Okay, now for
Yeah.
the business criteria,
Mm-hmm.
before we go into that, I'll just give you some of the study options when we were talking about before I move on. So again,
Okay,
there is
sure.
study options that means across Canada you could come into undergraduate programs, postgraduate programs, or diploma programs all across Canada. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the eligibility is a minimum of high school, a minimum high school of six, a postgraduate you need to have a bachelor's degree on that. Tuition fees will vary between 10 to 20K. Approximately living expenses are a bit different. And then there's different pieces which you could do. Now this, as you were saying, this is one of the best options as well, and an excellent way
Yeah.
for a pathway to become a permanent resident on that. Now, when it comes to the business programs, again, this is a very huge category, but at the same time, the requirements are a bit much more different on that.
Mm-hmm.
I always say that we provide you a certain basic guideline, but the real estate consultants, based on a case-to-case basis, will be able to tell you much more in detail on a person's situation on that. Now, the available programs, there is some startup programs, there's some self-employed programs. And as I said, the eligibility of the criteria could be anywhere between, the net worth of 600K to 200K. And there's so many other programs. It's a very basic and a general overview of this. But then again, there is a lots of more other programs which are available on that.
I see. So when you mentioned about the requirement to invest like a 200,000 Canadian dollar, right? Does real estate count?
No, so real estate
Mm-hmm.
and immigration are always two different things. I get these
No.
questions always from a lot of people in
Yes.
all the episodes, all the programs I've done with internationally. Everybody always
Yeah.
asks me that. So it's not directly related, but
Mm-hmm.
then if you do have property, does it help you? It does help you
Okay.
because it shows your ties into that. Now, the immigration is entirely done on a very personal and your own credentials. as compared to a direct property buying, which gets tied up into Canada. So it's number one thing is very important is that yes, you can buy a property at any time. Even if you're a non-immigrant, you can buy a property. That's not a problem. Uh, and as I said, it helps you in a way in showing up your ties, but not directly related uh, to the immigration.
Okay.
If that answers your question.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like a lot of our viewers actually is clear about this because most of the time where people always mix up, migration and houses, like you have to secure a house before you migrate. That's a lot of Asians they actually think that way. So thank you for clearing that for us. And okay, under I heard there's a lot of special measures for Hong Kong right now because of their protests and this and that.
So there's an announcement which came on November 12th,
Yes.
which was made by the Canadian Immigration, and more details are basically coming up on that. It's an initiative which I talked between 2021 and 2023,
Mm-hmm.
where these things are coming. Basically, what they have come up right now on this, it's a very basic information. There
Mm-hmm.
is new pathways which they have done, especially for the youth of the Hong Kong. Anybody who's a graduate, to bring them into the workforce immigration, into refugees Canada immigration programs as well. It's an initiative that will allow the residents in Canada and abroad to come in. But again, more details are yet to follow because this was just some basic information which was provided. But yes, there is a part which has been announced, and more details will follow on that part very very soon.
All right. So for our Hong Kong viewers, we will update from time to time. Just keep track with our international page, and also our Yousaf personal Facebook page. Yeah.
For sure, for sure, for sure. So one thing, Danny, as you mentioned about the properties, and you're talking to me like when you asked me this question.
Yes.
For any foreign buyers can buy properties in Canada. There
Mhm.
is absolutely no minimum requirement that you have to buy a certain amount to
All right.
invest in Canada. You can Canada invites foreign buyers from all over the world. You can buy a minimum from whatever amount. So there is
Mhm.
not a maximum amount. As I understand, some of the countries have that, for a foreign buyer, you got to have this much of minimum amount to buy. The good about the Canada is there is no minimum amount.
Okay.
The eligibility and the criteria, and the good thing about it is also that, uh, you know, there is finance options available as well when it comes to financing of the properties for the foreign buyers. Again, if you put in proximity anywhere between 35 to 45%,
All right.
based again on your personal situation, you could be eligible of getting the financing for the rest of the amount as well on that.
Uh, All right. So there's no minimum amount, but what about tax?
So the way the tax works here is that's a very good question. Uh, the tax comes to capital gain tax. And the
Mm-hmm.
capital gain tax, the way it works is that the first 50% is tax exempt, and
All
rest of the
right.
50% you get a tax on. To give you an example, for example, if you have bought a property and after a couple of years you sell it and you make $100,000 on it, the first $50,000 is tax exempt. The other $50,000 with the expenses what you put in, you would pay a tax on that. So which comes anywhere between 15 to 20% an average tax.
All right. That's I think that is that for the for lifetime or there's only like a certain period, like let's say you hold a property for like 6 years, 7 years, then you will not be
Doesn't
taxed on
matter.
it.
You could sell a property within a year or 6 years, 7 years. Doesn't matter in terms of
Oh,
tax.
okay.
That will remain the
Oh,
same in that
okay.
scenario.
I see. All right. So for me, I'm a foreigner. I would like to buy a house in Toronto. So what do I need to prepare for that?
Well, you need to contact
Yeah.
me for that.
That's very true. Yeah, because your office is in Toronto, right?
The office is in Toronto on that, but we are in all
Yes.
we are everywhere. So we are serving. in Montreal and Calgary, and we got some contacts in Vancouver as well. So
Yeah.
that's not an issue.
And
So
also, yeah. And
yeah,
also,
go ahead.
you have a team of specialists to actually help us with the tax and also migration as well, right?
So just to give you an overview, Benny, most of the time,
Yeah.
this is a good question you asked. A lot of time people come in and they don't know where to start and how do we go about
Yes.
investing into when it comes to taxes part, the insurance part, or some sort of a settlement services part on that. So we work with consultants
Hmm.
when it comes to immigration on that. We can certainly help in that way. And once that part is taken care of, when people come here as either they are investing it after coming or before even coming on that, we have a full team that can help you. So in our team, we do have insurance specialists, some accounting specialists and mortgage specialists as well. Apart from that, when it comes to the real estate perspective, as I said, there's no minimum amount which is required, but what you could do is that, for example, if you are buying a property, for example, $500,000 of property on that. So you have to keep about like approximately 35% as a down payment
All
if
right.
you want to get it financed on a property. And again, based on where you are buying it from which area to different
Hmm.
areas on that. There is a couple of things to note. The NRST, which is the non-resident speculation or sales tax, that is applicable in Vancouver
All
and
right.
also in GTA, which is a Greater Toronto area we call a Golden Horseshoe. But again, there is also exemptions to it. For example, if somebody buys a property today in Toronto and they are not permanent residents and they pay 15% NRST, and if they become a permanent resident in next 5 years, they get that 15% back. Or
Mhm.
if they have one of their child who comes for a full-time education of 4 years, they will get this NRST back as well on that.
Oh,
And
okay.
yes, so that 15% NRST is actually refunded to
Refund.
you if you get qualified within 5 years, you decide to migrate, or you have a child who comes to a full-time education on that.
Does that apply to one house or I can have many houses? So maybe, okay, example, I have two
You can have many
houses.
houses. You can
Yeah.
have many houses.
Ah, all right.
It doesn't matter because but it's going to be like you have to pay 15% tax to unless
Yes.
you're not a permanent resident, you just have to pay 15% tax to all the houses. But
Oh,
you can get refund to all of these houses as well
all
at the
right.
same time.
Okay. So, Yusuf, we actually have some questions from our Facebook viewers.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Yeah.
So, there's one. Can foreigner invest in commercial property?
Oh, yeah. Very good question. So foreigners can invest in commercial property. The commercial properties are exempt from the NRST, which is the non-resident speculation of sales tax on that. So if you are a foreigner and you're applying and you're buying a commercial property, you don't even have to pay the NRST, which is involved only for the residential. And yes, foreigners can buy any commercial properties.
Okay. So there's no restrictions on buying commercial properties.
There's no restriction in buying commercial properties. It could be a commercial condominium, it could be a commercial plaza, it could be a commercial shop. Any of the commercial you can buy. There is
Yeah.
no restriction.
Including lands?
You can buy land as well. Yes.
All right. Okay. Another viewer actually asked, how long is the migration process if she were to apply right now? I think she just she just hyped out because she heard about Canada, and then you can actually get your tax back after you get your maple card. Yeah.
So
So she
that's
would
a
like
good
to know
question.
how
So within
fast. Yeah.
yeah. So again, as I said, depending on a
Mm.
personal criteria, uh, I have seen applications going in anywhere between uh, I would say 6 months to a year
Oh,
as fast as that because I know of some of the people who have got there within 8 months as well. So by the time you get accepted, it should not take more than about 6 months to a year,
okay.
within a year.
So what if they fail? Like, do they have like any amount like of tries that they can try? Like maybe after three times, we will not take you in anymore.
No, it's not that. As I said, it's based on the CRS system on that. So once I
Mm.
get picked up on that, they still have to do the IELTS test, and they still have to provide all the documentation which is required on that.
Yeah. Okay. Another question is, what about factories, hotels, and plantations? I think any type of commercial properties.
Any type of commercial
Yeah.
properties. In fact, we have a commercial division as well
Mm-hmm.
within our brokerage, which is handling the hotels right now,
Mm.
or any kind of plazas right now. So we have a team who's actually looking into it, and we have some very specific and some off-market hotels and commercial plazas which we have access to if anybody's interested in that. So yeah, you can buy anything. That's not
Yeah.
an
Okay. So to sum it up for the viewers, what Yusuf has just said, that you just need to buy any commercial properties. Okay, our team IQI Canada will help you to rent it out and can help you to manage it as well, right?
Absolutely. So we
Yes.
do help with it's like a one-stop shop. Let me put it that way.
Yes.
Once you have a property, we'll help you in identifying the property. We'll help you if you require financing. We can assist you in financing as well, and then help you manage the property as well.
So we all learned that this year is a pretty tough year for everyone. Okay, how's the market over there in Canada like for this past 6 months?
Danny, the real estate market has been very hot. I just
Wow.
did a market update. I did it for November. It's been a non-stop. So when
Hmm.
pandemic started, uh, March 15, 16,
Yeah.
almost over a couple of months, the sales went down, but the prices did not go up. Starting
Mm.
since June, and we are right now in December for last 6 months, we have seen a very continuous increase in prices, and the sales have been going up as well on that. So the market continues to be very hot. One of the reasons is that also because the interest rates are very low. You can get a house as low as I just read by HSBC. They had an interest rate of 0.99
Point
to buy
nine nine.
0.99 that was announced based on certain criteria. You can actually get a house anywhere from 0.99 to 1.45, 1.5. So that's
Okay.
also one of the criteria which is
That
making the
that
yeah,
that actually includes the hotspots, like for
yeah,
Toronto, Vancouver,
of
point nine
course,
nine to 1.4,
0.99
1.4.
on that. So that's yeah, those are the factors, and again, the fact remains that with so many students here and so many immigrants coming
Yes.
in every year, Toronto will has we have seen that it's become a very hot spot, and what we also see is the assume is that this will continue to be a hot spot for some time.
Mhm.
Uh, Always keep in mind, right? I said if you have about 600, 700,000 students coming in, and as of 2019, there are about like 600, 700,000 students. Every year when a student graduates, they'll have 3 years of work permit. So after 3 years of work permit, they are looking for a place to rent.
True.
At the same time, if you're going to get 300,000 to 400,000 people coming in, and and assuming that at least 50% comes to Ontario or anywhere else, there is always a demand where people want to come and
Yes.
at least rent out a place first, and then buy a place. And most of the people are just coming and buying directly on that.
Mhm.
So the demand continues to stay strong in Canada.
Yeah. So basically, there's no panic buying during COVID, and then the market is staying strong because people is confident, and we have students coming in and stay for work. Is that right, yourself?
That's right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So the predictions for the real estate market, and I'll talk specifically about the Ontario Toronto real estate market. It looks like it's going to continue to be strong. It is going to be the seller's market because, again, the inventory levels have still gone up, but there is a lot of demand for the people who wants to buy their houses.
That's good. Okay. There's one question. Is there a minimum stay required in Canada as migrants?
Yes, there is. For you to qualify for your to keep your PR card going on, I believe it's about approximately 2 years. And for you to become a citizen, you need to be staying at out of the 5 years of your PR card. You got to be at least for 3 years to get qualified for your citizenship.
Okay, that's all. I think it's pretty interesting because today you actually share with us a lot of things about migration and also in real estate. Like in other courses or maybe workshops that we attended, a lot of them they actually mix both things together. I'm not too sure why, but you actually separate the migration and real estate part. Because usually people will say that, okay, why not you secure a house, or in the middle of your applications, you have to secure a house either way. Uh,
No, yeah, here's two different criteria. But again, as I said, always buying a house helps you, or an apartment investment helps you to show up your ties. Uh, if you're doing that, that will definitely help you in terms of showing your ties with Canada on that.
all right. So everyone, remember, migration is migration. You can go there as a student, as a businessman, or you can go there as a skilled worker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Buying a house is buying a house. Okay. So for IQI Canada, we do provide both of these options. Okay. So IQI Canada will be there to secure a property for you or help you in your migration consultation. Right. So Yousaf, do you have any links or what for us to share? Maybe your Instagram, things like that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
oh yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Just to give you my contact
Mhm.
information on that.
Yeah.
Let me see. Why not?
Okay. And also for those who want to know more, you can actually contact us, the IQI International Sales. We do, because I think Yusuf is very busy most of the time. So we will
Not for
actually
you.
we will actually help you with that as well.
Yeah. So anyway, for my contact information, you can always contact me. We have
Mm.
our own the IQI Facebook Canada page as
Yeah.
well, or you could directly contact me on my LinkedIn. I'm also available
Yeah.
on WhatsApp on my contact information. Again, Team IQI Canada, or you could go to iqiglobal.com or
Yeah.
iqicanada.com, any of their website, and you will be able to see our contact information, our team
Yes.
information, and we're always there to help. Even if it's a phone call, a message, just send it to us and our team will get back to you and I'll get back to you
Yeah.
personally and giving you whatever information is required. We believe in sharing information. We believe in helping, as much as we can, whatever we know. And again, we have a team of experts in different areas and different divisions as well that can help you, look for whatever you're looking for on that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Yusuf.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
let's see. Well, I think everyone is quite clear because we don't really have any questions
That's
anymore.
good. But if you
Yeah.
have any questions, you know who to contact. You can contact us. You can contact Danny
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Danny and I were and Mandy, we've been working for last a few years on a lot of exclusive things.
Yes.
And I'm sure Danny also now knows a lot about Canada, though
Of
he says
course.
he doesn't know. But with the properties business which we are going back and forward with some of the inquiries, he knows which areas are coming up where.
Well, we are just trying
What
our
are the
best
projects?
to, yeah, we're just trying our best to help everyone that we met to
Yeah.
secure a house, to secure a home in Canada. Because I think a lot of people think that migration to Canada and also to buy real estate for investment in Canada is pretty hard, but actually it's not so, right?
It's not
So
hard at
it's
all. It's
not.
not hard. Or no. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's time for our session to end. Thank you so much,
Awesome.
Yusuf. And thank you
Thank
to all
you.
the viewers. If you like to have more information for real estate or migration, okay, do drop us a message. Okay, you can private message us on our Facebook page right now. Okay, or you can drop
Thank
us
you
a
very much.
comment
It was a
below.
pleasure.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Yousaf. Have a
Take
good
care.
day.
Thank you, viewers. Bye-bye.
Bye.